Three, two, one, and we're live.
Cool. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor. It's an honor. Really, you've been killing it lately. The whole Orca team. Congratulations about the raise, about the launch, about the awesome community, the NFTs, everything.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a busy month, but yeah, we've all been working hard and happy to see how much the users love using the DEX and especially kind of volume going up because that's kind of the primary indicator for a DEX.
Amazing, amazing stuff, amazing stuff. But I want to start a little bit from your journey. How did the Orca team get together? How did you guys decide Solana is the place to build? And yeah, tell us a little bit of the backstory. How did you end up here?
Yeah, so basically Orca was built by Yutaro and Grace, and they're both from Tokyo, but born and raised in the New York City area in America. And they started Orca last year on a grant from the Solana Foundation. And actually, before they were building that, they were working on Ethereum, and they wanted to build a DeFi app that was basically a high yield savings account on Ethereum. But the gas fees are so high that after building the prototype in a couple of months, it just wasn't feasible. So they got a grant from Solana Foundation, and they started building Orca. And then a few months later, they launched it in February of this year. And then since then, it's just been growing. In terms of the team, yeah, I'll give you the quick rundown of the team. So Utah and Grace started this. We have T-Mock, who we just launched an OrcaPod podcast with. He's a senior engineer on the team. And then you have myself. And then recently we've just added about 4 or 5 other folks, mix of engineering and on the business side.
Awesome, awesome. Like what? It's a common story. Builders have tried first to build on Ethereum. It wasn't the vision. The vision they had could not really be built there, and they switched to Solana. This is a common story.
Yep. There's definitely different challenges with building on Solana, but I think even a lot of the projects you see right now on Solana having good traction are previous builders on Ethereum.
What's your view on the current landscape of DeFi in Solana? What do you think are the weaknesses? We know the advantages to Ethereum and the rest, but what do you think are the weaknesses and the opportunities actually to make these weaknesses a strength?
Yep. In terms of weaknesses, like I don't really see too many. I think in terms of usability, it's getting there. Phantom mod's super sweet and works really well, and is actually very competitive with something like MetaMask. I think on the weakness front, it's probably decentralization, and the only reason I say that is because I used to work at a staking provider. So when you look at something like Ethereum 2 and ETH 2 coming out, they have hundreds of thousands of validators now, and Solana's still earlier, so it's only about a year and a half old, and Ethereum's at 5 or 6 years old, but I think we'll get there. I just think that pretty much more people need to run validators. We'll have more node operators running, and yeah, all of these staking providers like Lido and Marinade, I think will do really good to kind of keep improving decentralization.
Yeah, decentralizing the validators is something that we saw also. Even FTX lowered their reward in order to make the scene competitive. Like it shows what Solana is trying to do, and they're cutting from their own income in order to achieve that. Pretty awesome.
Yep. But I think it'll get there. I think it's just kind of really, really early. It's only a year and a half in. So in a few years, I'd expect the validator count to be in the multiple thousands, if not even higher.
What about Orca's? What about me? What do I think about the weaknesses in Solana? I think definitely the decentralization, but also the way the Solana is gating a little bit the projects that are coming in. Maybe we should go past that phase of maintaining and updating a centralized coin index and relying on Solana Core to actually include you in the Solana Foundation. For Solana family, not foundation, sorry, the Solana family. Maybe we're past that, maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't see really many weaknesses of Solana at the moment, other than we're very early.
Yep. And no, that's a really good point. I didn't think of that, but definitely kind of the token registry and getting it decentralized makes a lot of sense.
Slowly. I'm
Yep.
glad we didn't up being a Binance chain or some kind of like a rug central. At least they
Yeah, I
kept the
think that's
quality of the projects really high by doing that, and I'm glad they did that.
yeah, I think that's primarily because you kind of have to build everything from scratch on Solana. There isn't really code or smart contracts that you can leverage because it was kind of early days of Ethereum in 2018 and 17, similar stuff where there wasn't as much forking and copy pasting. But yeah,
You're totally right about that, actually. Yeah, I never thought about that. Everybody that starts building here needs to kind of reinvent the wheel, where there's not a lot of forking, copy pasting, and yeah, if you have some special code, it's so early that you're kind of keeping it to yourself at the moment. Is
yep.
this something Orca does? Do you keep anything for yourselves, guys, or you're open sourcing everything?
We will probably sometime in the near future open source everything. I think kind of the bottleneck for a lot of this has been there's not too many Solana auditors out there. So we're working on the audit and kind of getting a new firm to check out the code. But after then, definitely open sourcing quite a bunch. And I think the cool part about that would be this NFT staking that we launched. I think a lot of projects could use that contract for staking their own NFTs.
I really support the open sourcing part of what you said a lot, and of course the NFT staking. But since you touched on the NFT staking, everybody loves what you've done with the rewarding the early participants in the protocol with NFTs and then putting good use in those NFTs. Is there any future for that? Are you going to launch more? Are you going to do anything else with NFTs? Like I assume you consider Radium your competitor. They've done some fair launch protocol with NFTs and all these things. Are you following there, or this is something you're not going to touch on?
Yeah, I actually really like their drop zone. Definitely participated in it, and it's very cool. I think for us, it's kind of just mainly resource constraints. So I think our primary focus will always be the AMM, just trying to make the AMM more capital efficient, more user friendly, adding more pools so you can trade everything. But I mean, everyone on the Orca team loves it on NFTs. We're all kind of participating in different mints and keeping an eye on the space. On our own NFTs, we'll definitely have more of Orca collectibles, and we're working on a bigger project, probably coming out in the next couple of months, but don't want to give too many details there. But yeah, we're keeping a close eye on the NFT space, and we'll have other cool things coming out.
What about gamification? And maybe include them in something metaverse. Your NFTs you already have. Are you going anywhere that side? The gamification of NFTs or tokens or platforms?
I think you're definitely on the right track in terms of gamification, but not necessarily in the metaverse, more just gamifying the NFT itself. So you can imagine kind of NFTs having different levels or having different traits and equipment you can have on them. So kind of that way rather than actually in a metaverse game. But yeah, definitely, I think gamification of NFTs is coming, and it's going to be really cool.
It's pretty cool. And in Solana, actually, we were discussing this 2 days ago on our team call. There are ways to actually centrally change metadata on NFTs to reflect leveling up and make your NFT procedurally and gradually more rare by upgrading traits. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I also think that if someone builds NFTs that evolve over time, so based on like a certain block hash or block number, that could also be really, really interesting.
yeah, awesome ideas there.
Are you guys doing anything with NFTs? I know a great protocol is big on the community front. Um, yeah, what's kind of your viewpoint on this?
We are slowly trying to we're trying to catch up with everything that's happening in the space. We are soon going to see fractional ownership of NFTs. Grape needs to keep up with that. Grape needs to keep up with LP staking in the various platforms. So we might have some part of the community create an NFT project, but on the tech side, I see we have Billy also in the audience, who is our lead in the tech side of Grape. We really need to catch up with all these things that are happening, and Yeah, we're soon going to see also FTX wallets with NFTs, and yeah, we need to catch up. It's just crazy. The NFT scene in Solana just exploded. What's your view on that? Is this sustainable? Is this something that we're going to see throughout Solana's life, or is this just for this market cycle? Like in Wales' friend opinion, usually, and no financial advice, NFTs and the NFT craze mark to me like a local top sometimes, or some over liquid players into the game, stuff like that. What's your view?
Yeah, I mean that's a tricky question because I think NFTs, even just figuring out regular crypto cycles is difficult. NFTs are at a different level. Um, it's really cool to see the explosion. It's probably been maybe 8 weeks, and the number of projects has easily 10x. So that's awesome. I think you're gonna have a similar cycle to the ETH DeFi summer, where last summer everything went up a lot, and then you had a few months in probably October, November where it cooled off, and then you just started up the new cycle as kind of old people cycled out, new folks came into the ecosystem. So I kind of imagine something like that. We have a nice trough per usual, and then you just continue upwards.
I think that if we continuously build on the NFT concept and the NFT use cases and the gamification and the social finance side of things, we can see a different kind of explosion that is stickier, that can stay with us and can bring non-crypto people into the game, because NFTs are much easier to understand.
Yeah, and I think I'm hoping Solana can or the Solana NFT projects can lead the innovation on that front. Because I think there's a lot more cool things you can do on Solana that with NFTs that you just couldn't do on Ethereum.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Another side of that I want to touch on your Orca plans is the institutional side of things. Are you planning anything that has to do with institutional investors, maybe a KYC DEX side of the DEX? Because there are so many yield opportunities, there are so many new coins, launchpads that institutional players can actually tap in and make the space much more interesting for them and their clients and for everybody else.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot of projects have started launching institutional products like Aave. I think Solarize has a cool one coming out, which definitely makes sense for decentralized hedge funds. I think for our point of view, probably not tailoring as much to institutions or launching any specific product for them. I think we're pretty much hoping to be like a backbone Solana liquidity layer where a bunch of aggregators at different UIs can tap into Orca's liquidity pools and get really competitive rates. So hopefully someone builds it on top of Orca, maybe a UI layer that is KYC'd for institutions, but I don't think it's on particularly our plan.
You mentioned yield aggregators. Any sneak peek on that? Anything coming on our side? Maybe crossing through the wormhole? I don't know. Anything you can tell us?
Um, so we're not particularly working on a yield aggregator, but we did just launch a few wormhole pools. So wormhole ETH Sol and wormhole ETH USDC are now available on Orca. So definitely supporting kind of the cross chain and various versions of coins that are coming to Solana.
Ah, beautiful. Really, that's really convenient. It was also something that the community was asking earlier about Orca, and if you are planning on including wrapped Ethereum and all these wormhole tokens that could come as from the ERC20 side.
Yeah, and actually, since we just launched it this week, the yields are pretty attractive on the wormhole wrapped ETH pairs, mainly because not that many people have migrated yet. So definitely worth taking a look.
I'm gonna go somewhere else, and it's something that again the Grape community has discussed in several DAO calls. As you know, Grape, because it's easier to talk about this project that we have also the community here, it launched on Radium. So we had a Radium fusion pool. So we had X amount of liquidity in Radium. What are the what's the reason for what are the benefits for a project that already exists in Radium to come and sponsor a double dip pool in Orca?
Yeah, I think there's probably a couple. It's a lot of the similar. Generally, it's a general similar purpose. So you're farming in one pool, and then you're also getting incentivized with tokens from another pool. I think the main benefits are so the main benefits are probably you get exposure to more users. You get to use Orca's user interface, which I think is super clean and really easy to use, and a pretty good swap experience. Uh, yeah, and then you get to build liquidity on a second layer. So I think Serum definitely is going to be like a good, strong backbone in Solana for a liquidity layer, but there probably will be many liquidity pools existing on Solana, and it's useful just to have different sources that aren't linked.
Are your liquidity pools siloed at the moment? Are you planning on opening up on to the general Serum pouring pools?
Yeah, right now they are separate than Serum pools. We're not sure. I think it takes a lot of dev work to kind of change around all the smart contracts to plug into somewhere else. So I think for now we'll kind of just try working on improving the pools that we currently have, as make them as capital efficient as we can.
You do have the absolute best experience, user experience in the AMM side. You definitely have the most the highest capital efficiency. Like I can't compare it with your competition. You guys are really on top of that game, especially when you're going for smaller trades. Wow, yeah, you can go pool hopping and you can get coin market cap prices. So you're clearly superior on that. So this is what you're gonna continue maintain your superiority on.
Yeah, I think so. And actually, that's a cool point because I actually forgot about the order routing. Definitely very helpful in terms of just linking different tokens to different pairs, given that you can do a double hop through multiple pools.
Why is the
Yeah.
competition so poor on this one? What's going on that side? Do you think this is just negligence? This is just they're working on other things, or this is something that you've done a breakthrough and this is what Orca is good at?
Honestly, I don't know. I definitely know it's not a breakthrough in terms of order routing. It's that you can implement it, but I'm not sure. I'm
It's
hoping that we
crazy.
can
If you
actually.
go, if have you tried Radium? Have you compared like going? First of all, they disabled it completely. I think since you guys came into the game, if there is no specific pair pool that you're trying to trade on Radium, you just can't trade it. It says no pools found. So if I go Sol to Grape, you can't do it. While in Orca is extremely doable.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping we can improve it at some time in the future and maybe allow like triple hops and different things and just make it more efficient overall. Because you can still go one more level, which is you split up an order into multiple smaller orders and then you find the best route from there. So we'll keep working on this front.
No, it's you're already on top of it. The only thing, guys, you're missing in order to really lift the tide for everybody is a launchpad. Like, is this something part of your plans?
Again, it's a big project to launch a launchpad. I think what we're kind of focusing on is just listing pools much faster than we have in the past. So if some new token that there's a lot of user demand for is out there, we'll try listing it kind of as soon as we can. I think on the launchpad front, generally we've been chatting with the Solanium team. So I think if they have a lot of high quality projects coming through their launchpad, we'll try working with them to either launch something like a double dip pool or even just a regular standard Orca pool immediately on launch. So I don't think we're going to venture into the launchpad area, but definitely trying to work with other launchpads and then just be the liquidity pool source for them immediately upon launch.
That's an awesome strategy, actually. That's better than what I proposed. Yeah, fantastic, actually. And Solanium they're good guys. They're really trying to compete with Radium. I don't think it's possible to compete with Radium if you don't have some kind of market creation to facilitate the liquidity of a new project. I think it just makes it very hard to compete with Radium. But if you guys actually team up, that's huge alpha for the tokens. Taking a note on this one.
Nice. Yeah, Solanium team's been great to work with, and they're nice guys and generally on top of everything. So hopefully the strategy works, and hopefully they have a lot of really good projects coming down the pipe.
Are there any criteria that projects need to fulfill in order to be listed as a double dip pool? What are you looking into a project? Are you going to do any research to make sure this is a legit project, or anybody that comes will be served?
Um, yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So in the long run, we definitely don't want to be gatekeepers to any project. So we definitely want to have community pools, which will be permissionless and anyone can list it. Um, and yeah, that way anyone can use the Orca smart contracts and user interface and kind of use that as a liquidity backbone. In the shorter term, essentially, it's been mostly around user demand and trade volume. So if a token's in pretty high demand, it generally means that the token, like a lot of people are interested in it and probably not a poor token to list. So that's kind of been the main criteria.
Pretty awesome. Uh, I was thinking like you are like it's you and Radium at the moment in my eyes. Maybe there are more players that I don't know. Maybe like there are. I've seen Symmetry AMM. It's pretty good. I've seen a couple more ones, but you guys are like killing it. Do you think we'll see anybody coming from Ethereum? I was expecting to see Sushi, for example. If we all remember
Yeah,
correctly,
yeah.
there was the Sushi saga with SBF and Solana being like porting LP tokens to kickstart DeFi and all these plans. I expected to see some more players into the game by now, especially with the TVL in those protocols going parabolic. What's your take?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. Um, my take's mainly been usually just talent. So if you've been building on Ethereum for a few years, for the most part, your whole team is extremely well versed in Solidity, but probably not well versed in Rust and Solana programming. So I think that's kind of the main barrier for people building on different chains. For example, all of them will launch on layer twos, but that's a very easy to port over. But yeah, I think it's just lack of engineers. So if they could find several talented Rust engineers to port their code, they probably would. But there's not too many out there at the moment.
Yeah, maybe you're right. In general, it's really hard to find engineers and dedicated engineers that will stick around and build for you, and it's a tough space. Like we are also
Yeah,
looking. I
and
assume you are also looking. Everybody's looking for good engineers.
yeah, and building kind of one protocol on one chain is a good amount of work for a relatively small team. I think expanding to like 3 or 4 chains would just get it would be an entirely new team having to work on it.
Can we change a little bit chapters from the competition, and could you talk to us a little bit about the Orca token and its plans and its use cases at the moment, and what you think the future is going to bring? Because we'll see regulation of things, we'll see things being classified as securities. Protocols are usually avoiding to start with profit sharing on their tokens. What's the Orca recipe? How are you guys approaching that?
Yeah, so essentially it's a governance and voting token, very similar to Uniswap or Sushi. And similar to Sushi, basically LP providers will get 0.3% of we have a 0.3% fee on every swap, and LP providers get 0.25%. The Orca Treasury gets 4 bips, and then the Orca Impact Fund gets 1 bip. So for the most part, what Orca token represents is that 4 bips that are going to the Orca Treasury, and then governance voting around the protocol. And I think it's actually only been maybe 8 to 12 weeks since we've launched the Orca token. So governance is definitely top of mind and kind of setting up a forum and discourse forum and getting the community built around that. I think it'll just be a little bit longer until we get it all set up and good to go.
Are you working with any of the already implemented solutions? Are you going with the Mango Markets model? Are you looking at squads? Do you have anything you're looking at governance? Any models?
For the most part, we've been kind of building it in house, but I'd be curious since you're probably in the loop with a lot more governance models, especially on Solana. Like, what have you seen that's worked pretty well?
I mean, nothing works so far, but it's all promises.
This is true.
Obviously, like Mango Markets model works, but it's still clunky. I think it's still hard to work. I think that they're on a good path. I think we're gonna see good things coming from there, and I'm even more into the squads model. This is something that we're gonna see in beta mode in the coming month. Within October, I think we're gonna see a closed beta from squads, and this is complete DAO tooling with voting and it has everything. It even has multi-sig solutions for the DAOs to hold tokens on. So this is something that even as Grape we are looking into close relationship with this team, because we are really working on the same space. So definitely take a look at squads. We're gonna have an AMA with squads next week as well to kickstart their beta phase.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Probably like Aragon or something on Ethereum, and I'll definitely take a look at squads. But yeah, I think on the governance front, like generally, we just want to build a really strong community. So people that understand the Orca really well and have the skill set to contribute to it. So whether that's 5, 10, 100 people, I think that's kind of the first order of business of getting people that are passionate about it and interested on helping to build Orca. And then after that, we kind of go deeper down the governance road.
So the governance token, let's assume that you create a wonderful community and a powerful DAO, and the DAO votes to increase the profit share of the protocol with the token holders, just like Sushi does, but even more. Is this something that's possible? Is this something that you could actually we could see materialize in the future?
Yeah, no, that's definitely possible. And I think it would work very similar to the way that SushiSwap works, where the governance vote is siloed to like a fee variable within the contracts, and then you'd vote on upgrading them.
It's pretty awesome. The fact that you didn't start with that model, or actually you started with a little bit of profit sharing to the, or there is none. You said there is a tiny percent of the fees that go there.
It's 4 bips of the fees go to the Orca treasury.
Ah, just the Orca treasury. Nothing goes to the holders yet.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing yet. Probably in the future. And yeah, so similar to Sushi, I think Sushi has 5 bips going to the Orca or the Sushi treasury. For Orca, it's 4 bips, and then 1 bip goes to the Orca Impact Fund, which is essentially a donation every quarter.
Oh yeah, you did also a donation about some environmental causes, didn't you? Are we going to see another one like this one?
Yep. So the Orca Impact Fund takes 1 bip of every swap on Orca, and then I think we're going to try quarterly. No promises on the timeline, but basically a quarterly governance vote to pick one of a few charities that's fighting climate change, and then donate to them on a quarterly basis.
That's pretty awesome, pretty noble, and users loved it. Like I know a couple of people asked in our the section where we sourced the questions for the AMA if you're planning another move like that, another action like that. So glad you are going to do it again.
For sure.
The fact that you didn't start with profit sharing from the very beginning, is it something that has to do with regulation? Is it the reason that you, since you guys are not an anonymous team, you are public out there, is it you just don't want to be classified as a security? Is this something that your lawyers maybe suggested, or this is you just went down that path? You think it's better not to give anything to the holders of the token and do it strictly governance?
So the actual answer, I'm not sure. I think the legal team and kind of those guys would know much better. From my point of view, I think it is better not to do it immediately at the beginning. It gives you time to get the token out there to more holders. It gives you more opportunities that if in 6 months there's a really good use case for the Orca Treasury, like at least we can help to direct it. So I think it's helpful to kind of do the simplest launch as you can initially, and then just add features over time as the token gets more maturity, is available to more users. There's more holders out there, and those kind of things.
Are you working at all on a order book style of Orca DEX? Anything that's past the AMM, the simple swap, something that has Serum style order books, or nothing like that, where a very high capital efficiency AMM?
Yeah, not exactly order books. We're working on other ways to improve capital efficiency, but I've definitely seen some projects reaching out in our integrations channel that are looking to build limit orders and stop losses on Orca. So I think that would be cool if someone did build it. And I think in the future we'll do like Orca grants to fund this kind of stuff.
Yeah, some you could really do some cool things to facilitate traders over there. Anything in the pipework,
Yeah.
anything that's coming, that new features that we should be on the lookout. I know the fall festival is ending soon. I'm pretty sure other things are gonna come down the line.
Yes, I think definitely like more pools, more double dip pools. We'll just continue pushing there and, until we have essentially every asset on Solana listed on Orca. Um, Definitely a small list of quality of life improvements just across the platform to make it easier to trade and see your liquidity when you are providing it. Um, yeah, and then on the NFT front, I think there'll be a cool project coming out in about a monthish that everyone hopefully enjoys. But those are kind of the main things right now, and then we'll release a roadmap in a few months with some more details.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
I'd be curious from Great Protocol, like what are you guys up to? What are you most excited about? What would you like to see in the Solana ecosystem?
What are we? First of all, we're looking for some kind of competition. Like we were expecting to have already our competitors from Ethereum tap into the Solana ecosystem. They haven't, so we are focusing on getting as much market share as possible. At the same time, we are actively recruiting and hiring, and we're working on a couple of features. We're actually working on. Let me see if I can drop this alpha. We are we're working on a decentralized event planning mechanism, so members of servers can actually get together, create a prize pool and compete together, and then everything is on chain and everything is verified and the winner gets paid immediately. We are working on a non-custodial tipping bot for intra-DAO payments. We are also working on some gated sales through by holding a combination of tokens that you are actually eligible to go further and participate in a sale. So we are working on all these things at the same time, but it's slow, and we are mostly concentrating on the market share. At the moment, we are over 80 projects. We have already 80 projects in the Solana ecosystem, and yeah, as you said, as you are also trying to get everybody in the in Orca to offer liquidity, we're also doing the same, and slowly we're going to be building more DAO tools. At the same time, we're refining the tokenized community. We're creating a decentralized workspace. We are creating lots of events and educational material for general Solana stuff. We are the Solana Center of Excellence. Let's put it. So yeah, lots of things in those two verticals: the tech side and the community side.
Cool. Yeah, generally, I really like all the ideas with having either gated based on tokens in a wallet or requiring holding certain XYZ tokens to get access to some drop or something new. I think those ideas are really cool.
We should definitely, of course, cooperate on that front for sure, and offer there our services. Help you also on the Discord community side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But also, are we also going to party in Lisbon?
Yeah, actually, the whole Orca team will be there.
The whole Orca team, of course. You guys have panels, right? You have stuff happening.
We do. I think we'll have a dev workshop. Utaro will lead that one, and then an NFT panel. And I think Grace will probably lead that one. So definitely a couple, and then maybe a couple of side events as well.
Wow, so much, amazing. Did you also commit? You have some grant for the hackathon, the Ignition hackathon.
I'm not sure, but if we don't, we probably should.
Yeah, you should, guys. You should. Everybody's in love with Orca. Really, everybody's talking about Orca and Mango Markets. These are the two projects that everybody talks about.
Awesome. I really love Mango. It's such a clean interface.
I think we have
Nice. Are you going to be? You'll be there as well in Lisbon.
Yeah, of course we're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there with Din Machine, and yeah, we're looking forward to meeting everybody. Like we have these incredible bonds. The Solana ecosystem is Solana family is still small and intimate. Like we know everybody. Everybody knows each other. It's beautiful.
Yeah. No, I'm in New York City, and the Solana meetups here, like everyone that shows up is really cool, very humble, very down to earth. So looking forward to finding more people in Lisbon.
Is there a big Solana family in New York? What's
It's
how
pretty.
does like, everybody's in Chicago, right? The Solana labs and the
It's pretty sizable actually. It's growing very quickly in the past few months. But yeah, no, it's just a good group. It's a good crew of people.
Nice, nice, nice. When did you start going? Are there meetups? Are there? Is this something that you regularly Solana fans meet in New York?
Yeah, usually it's like maybe monthly for the past few months. So it's pretty recent, but hopefully it becomes more regular in the next few months.
Yeah, we're also we're like many from the Grape team are based in Athens, Greece, and obviously there's no Solana family here. There's no Solana meetup. There's no Solana anything. But yeah, we hope if Lisbon made one is getting the Solana meetup, we can definitely make one in Athens. So we're gonna work on that as well.
Uh, nice. I see one question in this. I just realized there's an Orca AMA questions channel. Um, on will we have more language support? And yeah, definitely. I think we're definitely going to be expanding into different languages. Right now, it's supported in English and Mandarin, but we'll work in the next few months to add more.
We have a very capable team of translators. In case you need any help, we can really help out on this one, and we're fast.
Cool. We definitely might take you up on that because I know the global community is growing super quickly, and we want to support a bunch of languages.
Beautiful. I think you've answered all my questions. Let me go to the live questions to see if there's anybody actually asking there. Here to help with Spanish, people are already uh, offering themselves. Someone is asking what utility does the Orca collectible have? Man, come on, go check the fall festival. But after the fall festival, are we gonna see this continuing to get part of the early Orca liquidity mining?
So on the Orca collectible staking, it it was kind of a temporary program just to kind of reward everyone that's been holding an NFT since the early days of Orca. So I do believe it will stop on Monday, but we'll work on other campaigns in the future. Like we wanted to see what the participation was on this one and see kind of the reception, and it seems everyone really loved it and the participation rates are high. So we'll definitely think about doing similar things in the future.
So, would you advise anybody that's holding one of those Orca NFTs to keep it or to sell it? You don't need to answer that, but
I don't know. I don't know. That's up to you. They're very cute. So
yeah, guys, keep
they're
your
nice to have in
NFTs.
your wall.
Keep your
And actually, one
NFTs.
of the cool things, which I'm not sure if people realize, is that you get a different background in the Orca UI depending on which collectibles you have.
Oh,
So
really? So
if
it's
you,
not everybody seeing the same moving little. Everything. Everybody's different.
yeah. So if you have a whale, like a whale will show up. I think if you have a guppy, a school of fish will be there, and then different ones for every single one.
Ah, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Like, I'm gonna find someone that has it to see what's different. I don't want to hold you anymore. If you have anything else to share with the world, the stage is yours. I see we have 40 people on the public stage. We have about 25 on Twitch, about 30 on YouTube, and I don't know, on media. So yeah, we have a good over 100. It's beautiful.
Wow. No, nothing else to share. Definitely thank you guys for listening. Yeah, and thank you for hopping in. That's kind of crazy that 100 people are here listening to this. If you have any
I'll
other
prepare the
questions,
video and I'll prepare everything, and I'm gonna send it to you guys as well, so you can share it with your community. Super thank you for giving us the alpha. It's subtle alpha, but it is a lot of alpha.
cool. Thank you for having me on as well. I really appreciate it. And this seems like a really awesome community you have built here.
Thank you, and feel free to ping me to set up gates, to help grow the community, do some cross promotion or anything else you like. Honestly, we love Orca. The community is everybody is really participating in the fall festival and general liquidity mining.
Thank you. I definitely will take you up on that one.
And I'll see
yeah,
you for beers in Lisbon.
Yeah, exactly. Just a few weeks. Looking forward to meeting you in person.
Perfect, man.
Cool.
Take care. Say hi to the rest of the team, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you. I will. All right. Have a good rest of the talk. Bye, everyone.
Man, what? Like, everybody's awesome in Solana. What's going on here, guys? Honestly. I love the fact that the Orca team has realized the strength. They're not trying to build everything. They're not. They keep their focus and they're laser focused on providing the best experience when it comes to AMMs and capital efficiency. So lovely. I think there is. There's a lot to come from this, and they're gonna have quite a large margin of profit on the swap side of things. So if he spoke quite a lot about following the Sushi steps, and Sushi voted for profit sharing, and I think that eventually they're gonna go there. And it only makes sense to go there. The same goes with other tokens as well. I don't see Radium going there, but I see Orca going that side. They are so capital efficient. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you guys for being here. Honestly, thank you for making our guests feel special. Thank you for making me feel special. And we have our next meeting is on Tuesday, where we're gonna talk with the Solarize team, and this is an AMA just before their beta launch and then their the platform opening. And we've heard so much. We're getting so many spots to actually join the closed beta. We're gonna form teams and we're gonna compete. We're gonna have an internal grape leaderboard, and we're gonna distribute some grape. I'm also taking a screenshot from the people that are in the audience. You guys are going to get a chance. I'm gonna give one fractal NFTs. I'm gonna give it at random to one of the viewers. It doesn't matter if you are Class A, Class B, or Class C. You just need to hold a little bit of grape, at least 1,000 grape, and you're eligible. So I've already taken the screenshot. Don't call your friends. Ha! Now I got the screenshot. I'll inform. Actually, I will not inform you if you won or not. It's gonna appear in your wallet. We're gonna use the grape tools for this, as we use it for every giveaway. What else? Guys, Solrise AMA on Tuesday. I need your help for cool questions. I need your help to make our guests feel special. And yeah, you don't need to have a huge bag of slurs of Solrise Finance to actually have a good reason to ask questions, like even a small bag. You can extract alpha, you'll have them here to actually, and that's such a good team. Understand, guys, that the Solrise Finance team is also behind Solana Beach and Solflare. So these are super engineers, they're super builders, they've been building for quite some time on Solana, and yeah. That's it, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you, and see you on Tuesday.